Yeah, yeah. I love your accent. Where are you from?
I'm from England originally. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. And now you're here in the States.
I am 22 years now, so I'm getting
Nice.
used to it. There's still a few
And you
things.
still got the accent still strong, man. You would think that it died down a little bit, but
It
it sounds
has.
like it's
It has died down a little bit. I can hear the British accent now, so they think
love it.
I'm American.
Love it. Love
So,
it.
anyway, did you get a chance to watch my short little video?
No, no. What bit did you send it to me?
It's part of the booking process when you book a call with me. It's
Oh,
just the
interesting.
video. I know most
I
people, if you're like me, I don't read either.
I did not. I was quick. I put in my information and I got out, and
That's it. Yeah.
that's it.
That's how most people operate, but it's designed to save a little bit of time, so we can concentrate on you, get
Sure,
your story, and find out why you're in real estate and what can do to help you. So
sure.
you can certainly watch that later on and have a whole YouTube channel you can look at as well, and plenty
Oh,
of videos.
nice.
So let's not worry about that right now. Let's concentrate on you and tell me your
Sure.
story and how I
Yeah.
can help you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got into real estate 2019. I started with a bigger wholesale brokerage. So I ended up going the traditional route, getting my real estate license, and then working for a brokerage for about 6 months. All on the investment side of things. I didn't get my real estate license with the intent to be to represent buyers and sellers and buying their dreams homes and selling their homes and stuff like that. It was always with the intention to get in the investment side of things.
Right.
And so I partnered up with that brokerage just to get, I guess, some experience within the whole wholesale investment world, right?
Right. Right. Makes sense.
And
Yeah.
this was January of 2019. And so before I got hired with these guys, and you may even heard of the company, it's called Net Worth. They're a little bit smaller than another huge one, New Western.
Oh,
Both are
yes.
big
Right.
companies, huge
Yeah.
companies, right?
Yeah.
I started with Net Worth. And funny thing about Net Worth is that the owner of that company and the owner of New Western, they actually worked together at the same spot way back in the 90s.
Oh,
And then
wow.
as they got older, I think they even started something together and then eventually broke off and separated and started their own two things. But so 6 months into that, and before I even got hired on, probably for about a year, I'd been doing a lot of research, a lot of YouTube, right? YouTube University. And I felt like I had learned quite a bit through that. So by the time I got hired on, I was like, I pretty much knew everything. So at that point, it was just really not everything, but I knew a lot.
Yeah.
And so I felt that staying with that company was kind of hindering my ability to grow and to really scale something on my own, right?
Right. Right. Right.
And so 6 months in, I had to sit down with the CEO and I said, "Hey, man, I gotta do my own thing. I gotta separate. I gotta go. I gotta go. I'm quitting."
Right.
And he gave me his blessings. And so after that, um, for about the next 3 months, and I'm gonna get into a little bit of details here for you. I hope that's okay. But for
No, that's
about the
perfect.
next
Yeah.
three to
Yeah.
three to 6 months,
Yeah.
I didn't really know. The only thing I knew of like to do was I got to make phone calls. I got to call people. I got to get on the phones and just call people.
Right.
So while I was with that company, I worked as a sales agent, like a disposition agent. So all of the properties that they were bringing in, that they were either contracting direct to seller or with, like through real estate agents, I was the guy that was building an investor list, and I would try to get my investors to buy the properties that were coming in the door. So what I did was when I was with the company, I had a cash buyer list of probably maybe let's call it like 1,000 people that I had skipped trace, and I was calling through this list to find investors. So when I left, I used that exact same list, and instead of looking for investors to buy property, I started calling that list to see who would sell property. And so within the next 3 to 6 months, I was able to do close to about $100,000 in wholesale fees.
Oh, wow.
And when I was with the company, it was like I probably made like 10 grand while I was there. So it was totally, that was the first time I'd made that much money before.
Right, right.
And so what I did at that point was I reached out to a good buddy of mine he was already kind of in the investment real estate space. And I said, hey, look, man, there's some opportunity here. Like, because this is back in 2020. I mean, wholesale it was big, but there was a lot of people that didn't really know much about it.
Mm.
And so when I told him about it, I told him about it at first in 2019. And then he was like, I don't know. And then when he started seeing me make money, I was like, look, this is legit. There's
Right.
something here. There's opportunity. And I
Mm.
know what I'm doing now. And so we ended up locking arms and building something over the next 2.5 years, where we were probably I think our last real year was 2022. And we probably did almost $500,000 in gross income.
Very good.
So
Yeah.
I think we had about 10 agents that were working for us. And that consisted of some cold callers, people that were working the text platform, and also like lead managers and sales guys. And so, and then 2023, we kind of dropped off big time. So at the end of 2022, we sat down and we were like, where are we getting? Because this thing is growing, and we've kind of like hit a ceiling.
Yeah.
And so what can we do moving forward to get this to the next level? Because we've kind of reached a stopping point. And if we don't change some things and sit down and talk about what we need to do, we're not going to get any further than this. We're kind of capped right now, and we need to figure out what's stopping this. And so after months really of discussing what we really wanted to do, we ended up splitting ways. And so it was a mutual decision. Like, he had a lot of things going on. He couldn't, and this is my partner I'm talking about, he couldn't put 100% of his efforts into building this thing with me.
Okay.
And so I was like, look, it's, let's just part ways and do our own things. And so we did that.
Yeah.
And that was in 2023. And so by that time, I mean, we'd probably done over 100 deals, made probably over $1 million within the last few years. And that was mostly wholesale. I think we did a couple little development deals, maybe a flip or two. And then at the end of 2023, I kind of, I would say like spring to almost summer of 2023 was kind of a weird time to me. My buddy, one of my best friends, passed away from a drug overdose, and one of the best friends that I ever had.
Wow.
And it put me in this really weird spot. Yeah,
right.
I never had anybody that close to me pass away before, and
wow.
for the next like 6 months, it was just kind of a weird, like. I remember my partner called me one day, and he was like, hey, it's been a while. I haven't talked to you in a few months. Like, what have you been doing? How you been? And I like started thinking about that. Like, what have I been doing? I hadn't been doing anything. I hadn't done anything. I was sitting on a little bit of cash, and I was not really working. I was just kind of going through my days in this kind of smuggy, cloudy days of like, just doing nothing. There's no accomplishments. There's no working. I was just kind of, scrolling Twitter all day, really,
Right. Yeah.
And so after that conversation, I was like, you're right. I haven't done anything. And so I started kind of getting back into gear. And so the end of last year, got into a couple different courses, one of which was a land development course, like a mastermind type deal, where I paid quite a bit of money to get into this course. And it really got me thinking about land. Because during our last couple of years, we'd done probably over 100 transactions, and most of those were land or like small infill lots. And we were pretty good at moving them. And when we looked back at the numbers, it was like, those were more profitable than any of the homes that we were selling.
Okay.
And so I kind of knew that from like the end of 2021 forward, And I started to really have those thoughts about transitioning only into land.
Mm,
And then at the end of last year, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do that now. And
mm,
so got involved with the course, started learning about development, and haven't really done anything in the development space. So what I've been doing pretty much this whole year is the same thing that I'm used to doing, which is talking to sellers, finding good deals,
mm.
locking up contracts,
Right.
and either flipping those contracts. And this is, I have a contract right now, and this is the reason I reached out. I have a contract with a guy that's in he's got 225 acres in Arkansas.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
and I'll tell you a little bit about the deal. But so this year, I've probably closed on about 30 deals. And this is all me. Like this year, like me and my partner split. We fired our whole team last year,
Right.
um, and so everything I've been doing is kind of back to the basics of like, you know, just making the cold calls. Really, it's like I'll pull a list, I'll find the phone numbers, and I'll make the phone calls and talk to the sellers. And I've done about 30 or so deals this year. The last of which was um, it was a 35-acre parcel in Indiana, and I would say the last couple months I've really geared my marketing toward different. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and so I've
Mm,
been gearing my marketing toward a few different counties in a few different states,
yeah.
which is totally new to me because I've always done deals around Texas.
Mm,
Um, but I started getting in touch with some people who were doing their business models revolved around um, a certain criteria of land.
right.
And so I'm like, okay, I feel like if I just have a good criteria of what I'm looking for, I can figure the rest out. And
Mm,
because I was always kind of scared to hop out of my state because, it's so many miles away. How, if I get
right.
a deal, what am I going to do? Right.
Right. Right.
And so I said, you know what, I'll just make the jump and do it. And I felt like I had enough information to do that. And so I've been working different states for the last just couple months, few months, maybe back. I pulled that list in like July or August. And I have, I've never really raised money before, at least this type of money for a project. I've raised like, 75 to 100 grand for some other little projects, but this would be a 250 grand project.
Right.
And I'm looking for 250 grand for the purchase of the property. Um, and as it sits right now, it's probably worth about 400 grand. So there's about 150 in equity from
Mm,
the start. And then I'm in touch with a land broker in the area that's kind of helping me, look at the deal. He's going to help me market the deal, list the deal. And he mentioned, if you can clean up the access points a little bit,
mm,
do a little bit of dozer work and put some money into it, 10, 15, 20 grand into it, you can probably get another 50 to 60 grand out of it and more in equity. And so I feel like I got a really good deal. I've done a lot of due diligence on it. I've had multiple calls with the land broker. He's sold a lot of deals in the area, and we got a close date set for November 1st.
right.
And so
Mm,
I've so that's kind of me, my story, and where I'm at now.
okay.
I'm pretty, as far as knowledge level and experience level, I feel like, this isn't my first rodeo, even though most of the time what we've done is wholesale, which is not coming up with our own funds to buy the deal. We just assign the deal
Mm,
or double close the deal. We'll
right.
find a buyer before close date, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so that's what I'm used to. But I feel like in terms of getting things done,
Mm,
my experience level is pretty high
yeah. So you're
relative
looking
to
to grow in knowledge and grow your
right,
skill base. Yeah. And more tools in the toolbox, as it were. Yeah.
right.
Good. I commend you for that. That's really kind of cool,
Yeah,
So that's excellent. It's not really in my wheelhouse land, and
sure.
But I'm glad you shared all that because I network extensively in the community.
Yeah,
Within Sub Two and Gator and what have you. So,
right.
and I do know a guy. I used to work quite closely with him. His name is TJ. Um, and I'll mention that I'll probably recommend this video to him. He's a
TJ, I
yeah. Have you
he
come
may be on
across
that
him?
list as well because
Yeah.
what I did is I went through the PML list that Pace put out a while
Right.
back,
Yeah.
and I think there was a TJ on there, and I probably texted him. I
Yeah.
went through that whole list and texted
Yeah.
everybody.
Well, you
So
can mention me because we work very closely together
okay,
with Shard Najumi, and
yeah, sure,
so for months, and you can. I'll recommend that he watches this
sure,
video because then he'll get to know you. You see, and what
yeah,
you've been
yeah,
doing, and
yeah,
you can squad up with him. He
sure,
specializes in land too. You see,
okay,
so
perfect.
you never know; he might become your partner.
You never know.
You
You
never know
know,
how these
God
things
works in
work.
mysterious ways. He really
Yeah,
does, man.
that's
Like
right.
one conversation can lead to just a whole beautiful new life, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
absolutely. It's
just one
amazing.
person away
Yeah.
from something totally different. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and that's why I know Pace bangs that drum all the time. You squad up, you network, and that's how
yeah,
you move forward. But
right.
um,
When did you get into sub two? How long you been in?
I'm not been in sub two. I'm an elite gator. I'm in that
Oh,
side
got it.
of it. Yeah, so
Okay.
on the lending side, I'm an older dude now. I don't need to build a huge portfolio.
Sure, sure,
So,
sure.
so, so, and I look to bring knowledge and value to the table. And
Sure.
recently, I've been promoting Legal Shield. Have you heard of Legal Shield?
Legal Shield sounds like
Prepaid legal, it used to be. Prepaid
I've
legal?
I've heard of it. Maybe I'm thinking of Texas Law Shield, which is an insurance company that I'm paying to for my firearm,
Right, right.
but it's
Maybe
probably totally
so.
different.
Yeah, but this is totally different. It works just like insurance, but it's
Yeah.
for legal access, legal counsel. So
Uh-huh.
everybody, of course, doing real estate needs an attorney, right? Because you've got JV agreements,
Sure.
you're writing
Sure.
contracts all the time, and
Right.
you might get sued, or you might need to sue
I've
to
I've
protect your
been there.
business. And
I've been there.
me too. And I wish
Yeah.
I'd known about them years ago when I was in. I had over 100 doors at one point. I was going for 500 doors in multifamily, and I made a whole bunch load of mistakes, but the biggest one was really not being capitalized enough to actually take legal action, and try and recover my losses through uncollected rents, bad contractors, banks doing me wrong, all sorts of legal things I could have, uh, uh,
Avoided
but no,
perhaps if you
yeah. Well, not avoided, but use Legal Shield because you can't even spend more than $200 a month with them. And
right.
an attorney's what, $750 an hour.
An hour. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
This is a month, so it makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense.
Right.
So I'm shouting this from the rooftops right now because people are going to save a whole bunch load of money. I mean, Pace uses Sean DeClaire or whatever his name is.
St. Clair. Yeah.
St. Clair. Yeah, Sean St. Clair.
Right.
And I think it once showed his bill is 14,000 a month or something. you know.
Crazy.
So I mean, anybody. I mean, you probably know. I don't know what your attorney bills have been like so far. You've been 2019. Have you taken legal?
I've never taken legal action. We have been people have came after us for the TCPA
Yeah.
laws, which I
Right.
know Pace is like, just throw it away, ignore them. But we had one guy that I mean, he didn't give up, man. He
Oh
kept
wow.
coming and coming and coming. And my partner, we got to the point where my partner was like, dude, we're gonna have to settle with him, or he's gonna we're gonna have to go to court and do all this whole thing.
Right.
And so we ended up, I forget what we paid, maybe like 10 grand. We paid him all, like
Oh
settled it
wow.
just so he
Okay.
wouldn't, take us to court and all that. And then we had another couple close ones that were kind of similar to that guy, but they ended up backing off
Right.
after a while. But No, I mean, people, and the thing with, we weren't his first, person
Right,
to come after. Like, it's like people create a business around that,
right. Absolutely. I
which
never
is kind of
did.
scary. So this
Yeah, I
legal
know.
shield thing is what you have attorneys just are on staff that are
No,
knowledgeable in
how
real
it
estate.
works is they're on retainer by the company, and we
Uh,
pay like insurance, like car insurance. You pay a premium each month.
right,
Okay, so whenever you need them, you have the attorney in the back pocket,
right.
and you're not worrying about an attorney bill, and they're not worrying about being paid.
I see.
So a whole new dynamic. The company have got all these attorneys all across the US and Canada on retainer for millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So you just call them whatever you need an attorney for. Could be personal, could be a
Oh, okay.
lawsuit.
So this doesn't have to do specifically with real estate. It's kind of,
No, it could be
uh,
anything. Yeah, it could be, probate or a
yeah,
divorce or um, making a will.
sure, sure.
Anything you can think of. And I can put my website there for you to look at it. They have all
Yeah,
sorts of different plans, including identity protection, to prevent identity theft, for
right,
example. You name it, they've got it. And
right.
you just pick the specialty on your phone and you're talking to an attorney. So
Interesting.
if I'd known about that the first time round, I would still have all my properties. See, I lost all my properties because
Did you?
yeah, because I wasn't able to take them to court,
Right.
and recover my losses. So very painful. And
Yeah,
so many, Jonathan, in the community are here who making horrible losses in their
sure.
business, you know?
Who are not capitalized, who have no attorneys in their pocket, like
Correct.
that are in bad spots, and one thing could go wrong, and that could be their whole, investment
Yeah,
portfolio, or
yeah.
you know,
And it took
everything they
me
got in the bank
it
and all
took me
that.
8 years of licking my wounds to even get back on the horse.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
devastating. So I'd encourage you to check it out and be
sure,
protected, give you that peace of mind,
sure,
drastically reduce your legal costs and give you access.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I'll
yeah,
definitely check it out. Can
yeah.
you did you put it here in the chat?
I did, yeah. Just click on it now and bookmark it if you like, and you can check it out. There's a lot of information, but if you wanted to talk about that further, then definitely book another call with me.
Yeah, sure.
And you do have the opportunity of turning another income stream on if you like as well with that, because
Uh-oh.
everybody in
Wow.
real estate needs it. I've lost your camera.
Yeah, hang on. Where'd you go? Oh, there you
There we
are.
go.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Um,
um, and that might help you as well doing remote land deals. 'Cause
sure.
you can have an attorney in any state. It wouldn't be an additional cost. Just your monthly amount.
That's beautiful. I can't believe
Yeah,
I've never heard of that. And maybe I have. Maybe I wasn't ready to hear it at the time.
right.
You
Because
know?
say you wanted to do a deal in Alaska, you've got to then find out who's a good an attorney or
Right.
whatever. But with this, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
How long have you been working with these guys?
I only came across them last month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know.
Awesome.
And they've been around for 52 years. And I
Wow.
thought, if only I'd known about them, I'm probably
Yeah.
hear the name, but don't look into it any further. I mean, it's amazing
Right.
what we don't know and what we ignore until we need them, right? I mean, then it's painful, right? We
That's
either
so crazy.
learn the easy way or the hard way in life,
Right.
Crazy. So
Yeah.
I'm shouting out as loud as I can that message to try
Yeah.
and help somebody not lose like I did. Yeah,
Sure. Well, I
yeah,
appreciate that. I'll
yeah,
definitely have a look. Definitely have a look and see what I think.
yeah, yeah. Let me know what you think as well. I'd
We'll
really
do.
like feedback on that. So yeah.
We'll do.
Well, that's great, and I'll mention to TJ our conversation, and
Okay.
if I think of anybody else as well that
Yeah,
can help
please,
you.
please keep me in mind.
Um,
And I even if if this one doesn't work out, it's because what I'm wanting to do, and I should have been doing this a long time ago. You know how Pace, he harps on that, is like,
Right.
even when you don't need the money, you need to be constantly trying to raise money because
Yes,
you
you
never
do.
know. And now I'm in that position where it's like, oh crap, I need some money and I haven't been doing the work.
Right.
And so I'm going to take this opportunity now to just start building the relationships
Correct.
to just in case down the road, because I know I'm going to need it down the road. So
That's right. Yes. In fact, why don't you let me put this in my YouTube channel because
okay,
I'll be publishing this video that we've done. So if you subscribe to it and then you can promote it, this conversation, right? Because you've described exactly what you've been doing, your history,
sure,
and it can be a nice shortcut for you, right?
sure, sure, yeah, heck yeah,
And
love it.
you could even clip it if you wanted,
Sure.
If you wanted to do that, I could clip it for you, by the way.
What I see the little book back there that says investing in large multifamily solved. What is that about? Is that a little ebook or something?
No, it's not. It's a full-blown book.
Oh,
Published
is it?
on Amazon. 15 chapters, 190 pages. I've got 3 books on Amazon I've written.
Cautionary tales from real estate investing,
Yeah,
investing in large multifamily. What
demystifying commercial real estate investment.
interesting.
Yeah,
So that must be your niche, is the commercial real estate space, the multifamily space.
that's correct. That's
Nice.
correct. Yeah, so I can put that link for you as well to my. Let me do that for you as well, because you might you might end up doing that as well, because the
You never
nice
know.
thing about large multifamily is you can be a passive investor, so it doesn't disturb what you're doing.
Right.
You can make when you make a nice load of money. There's the link. When you make a nice load of money, you can deploy it, get a good rate of return.
Yeah.
My project,
That's definitely in the wheelhouse of thoughts for sure. I do own a small multifamily. It's an 8 unit that me and my partner bought back in 2020,
right? I mean,
which is
the bulk of Pace's net worth is in multifamily, so that's going to be the thing where can park your money, treat it like a bank account, where you get a much better rate of return.
correct.
So it's much better than leaving it in the bank where you're tempted to just spend it on toys or it just whittles away when it's in the bank.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Tied up in a large multifamily, you're getting the rate of return, the quarterly distributions, and the share in the equity, the profit at the end of the day.
Right.
It's a way of building wealth. A very good.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Which reminds me, I did invest in the first sub 2 fund with Pace. That I forget when that was, 2022 maybe. And I still haven't set up my account to get the returns. I need to figure that out.
Oh wow. Okay, there we go.
But yeah, I don't know anything about the property, but they've been sending me emails. I need to look more into that because I have not. So thank you
Yeah.
for reminding me about that.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, yeah. No, that's fun. Because you'll say, "Oh, good. Did he get that much money?"
It's probably a
Yeah.
couple dollars, but it's
It's
something.
like finding money in the couch, isn't it?
Yeah, right, right, right. In between the car seats.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, that always works.
Love
All
it.
right. Well, very
Cool,
good,
man.
Jonathan.
What was TJ's last name? Do you know?
I only called him TJ. I have to think about it.
That's okay. Because
Um,
I know I did text the TJ. He was in that list, and it may or may not be the same person you're talking about. But I want to say if it is, I think he already got back to me this morning.
oh, really?
If it's the same one, yeah. So and if
It's
it is the same one, I can definitely have that conversation and let you know that I chat, or let him know that I chatted with you.
Yeah, definitely. Because it might make him. I know we all get distracted and we don't really listen too well, right? I mean,
Sure.
and he may not have realized who you are, and you can point to this video. I'll be
Sure.
publishing this video when we finish, so it should be up
Awesome.
in a bit later on. But
Awesome.
if you dig into REA conveyor belt, let me put the link to that on Facebook. And then in the members, if you go to in the members on if you're not a member, let me look it up. Let's see if I can find it. TJ. I think it's like pretzel, Pizel or something. His name. Let's see if I can find it. Find a member. TJ. Yeah, TJ Pelzel.
Okay.
J Pelzel.
Pelzo. I'm not sure that was the one actually, but I guess we'll find out.
This
I just
is his
sent a link to try and join that group.
Here's his Facebook profile, and tell him that and I'll tell him as well. I'll tell him that we've had this conversation, and I'll give him this YouTube link.
Awesome.
And give you a flying start, because that's his specialty. It's like,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be really great.
Yeah. And
that'd be really great, man, because my goal is to get what is it, October 10th. My goal is to get at least 5 more deals in the pipeline before the end of the year. And I think it's totally possible. And what I'm wanting to do is kind of transition from wholesale into funding my own deals and just turning around and it's a simple process. Fund, list on the market. I'm trying to get them at such a deep discount to where there's 50 to 100 grand equity, and I can just close on it, turn around and list.
Right.
With minimal work, if I have to do a little bit of cleaning and hang on 1 second. Sorry, I had a call coming in. If I have to do a little bit of work, a little bit of cleanup to the land, that's fine. To get some more, to make some more profit, but try to keep that to a minimum so we're not wasting a whole lot of time.
Right.
Because time is money, man. And the faster we can turn it around, the better for everybody. So
yeah, absolutely.
But anyways,
very good, Jonathan. Good time. I'm glad we connected, even though it didn't quite work on the time, but
yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's no worries. No, that was perfect. And I think we got a bit accomplished, So
yeah, I think so. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
All right, very good. You have a wonderful day, Jonathan.
Okay, Graham. You too, brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.